what he thinks about it.
I am indeed standing by. Thank you very much, Trevor. And of course, I am here with Senkooks. And first off, to start this one, Senkooks, how do you feel about those two games? Because I feel like from week to week, you've just looked better and better. And this series, you just crushed it.
Yeah, well, this split coming in, we're a lot stronger. Our scrims is going a lot better. We're improving. I feel like last split was more of the experience for us. And you could see it was kind of lackluster sometimes. But coming into this split, we're pretty confident. And we're pretty confident coming into the week against Schalke.
What specifically did you change from split to split? Because obviously scrims are going better, but you must have done something to make the scrims go better.
Well, I think last split there was a bit of lack of experience on stage, maybe a bit of like people were nervous. And I feel like in general, like when we came in from Tegan Test EU, we had pretty much no way of playing like the macro game at all. We were just, let's team fight, guys, let's group mid. So.
Well, I also want to talk about the meta and how it's also changed, because it seems to be suiting you guys. You now brought Anivia into the mid lane, so how do you feel about that one right now?
Well, Anivia is like really good into like these champs like Vladimir and Swain, because she has a lot of CC and she has a lot of zone control with the wall and ult. And you can see this game, like it's really hard for Vladimir to commit super hard into fights, even though like he could maybe go on the Caitlyn a few times in this game, but Anivia will always be there and like can wall him off, and even though he pulls, he cannot walk through it.
Where do you actually feel that Anivia like stacks up right now? Is it specifically like a counter pick to champions, or is it just like she actually fits somewhere within the tier list?
She fits somewhere in the tier list. Like you can blind pick her, but she has some matchup that it can be quite hard, but it's always playable. I feel like a champion like Victor is probably a better blind pick, but into champs like Vladimir and Swain, Anivia is a better pick.
Very interesting. So I want to take a step back here and look at Splyce in general, because you're talking about how well you guys are doing and how well you're feeling right now. So what are you looking in terms of expectations in later to the split?
Right now, we're mainly looking to improve ourselves. We don't think too much about the result, but obviously after these two first weeks, players would be pretty nice to play in, you know. So yeah.
Well, that's really heads up. Thank you very much for talking to me, Senkooks. Congratulations on the win. We're going to send it over to the analyst desk to take a look at the game and close out the day.
Thank you so much, Pulse. And joining us after that series is the support for Schalke 04, Spratel. Nice that we can hear both sides of the coin. What for you went wrong in that series?
The second game we had a 1-3-1 comp, and we take a horrible fight at Dragon, which kind of just decides the game, honestly. I mean, we tried to come back with the Vladimir gank and Irelia gank, lane, but it didn't really work out in them.
No, he has a replay of that Dragon fight.
Yeah, we do randomly happen to have a replay of
That's sad.
the very specific fight. I guess we can just
take a look at it.
Yep.
Take a look, just one more time. You know, what goes wrong here?
Well, I engaged too fast, / we TP too late. So it's kind of we just engaged, but we're not really ready for the fight. So we had to blow Kindred ulti, and then we can't really recover from the fight. I feel like I'm out of the fight, and it's just really scattered in general.
Did you realize Steve actually stepped on a trap up there?
Steve?
Yeah, apparently he just ran straight into a trap. Obviously not his fault, right? It was kind of like hidden. Zareen was tweeting about it after. We didn't notice it at all. And then I just saw again, he just actually got stopped. It wouldn't have changed anything because you guys were still like, the setup is the same. Randomly, I just feel like we had to point it out. That was a trap.
I mean, I did the same in mid lane when they sieged the Inub. I stepped on a trap, so I failed my combo as well. They're cheeky, those traps.
Yeah, exactly, like straight in the ward. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, and part of the game there for Splyce, obviously zone control traps, teeny zone control, but you know they ran the Anivia that we've seen in other regions. Anecdotally, Splyce, this is a comp that they actually ran back in Challenger last year, very similar. So there is a level of comfort for them in those kind of zone control team fights. Yeah. How is it fighting into that, where you got to fight into, you know, like an Anivia and then little areas zoned away by Caitlyn? How is that for you as an engage?
Yeah, it's very special. Like, you feel the time, there's a ticking bomb, you just have to engage at one point as they have set up everything perfectly. I remember fighting bot lane, I don't know if we're going to review it later, where I engaged on Caitlyn, but my team just got completely sewn off by walls and traps. So it was kind of, it didn't really work out as well. So it's a bit hard to play against, yeah.
Would you say, as a summary, I hear you taking a lot on yourself, like I cut out and didn't have the right position. Would you say it was more a draft issue in general that you got to improve for tomorrow, or where does it lie?
I think the draft is fine, you know, but we have to play to our strengths as well. I think that's the bigger problem here.
All right. With that, Splyce did play to their strengths, and the player of the game for us was Senkooks, and it was interesting because we were questioning him at times as well today, because all the other players had stepped up, but he had a great Anivia game.
Yeah, I kind of feel like every other player just kind of grew up faster than him. He's now trying to catch up, and he did play well in this game. Obviously, he talked about the matchup being good. Anivia into Vladimir. Again, you can kite him around, zone control of the wall. Is it something you guys agree on as well, like Anivia being a good pick in Vladimir?
I haven't honestly seen it, but I mean, they insta-locked it when we picked Vladimir, so
Okay.
that was very well planned from them.
What do you make of Splyce, maybe more specifically the bottom lane? Because Kobbe has been having some really great games. The relation of Kobbe with Mickey seems to be really paying off. Do you notice that in playing them?
I totally do, yeah. I played them a lot between the splits. They play a lot of solo queue, the dynamic queue. And they have really been working on like synergy, I can tell. Like a lot of Twitch target and stuff like this. But they're definitely stronger than last split.
So I look at this bot lane, and now please disagree if I'm going too far. But comparing, I'm setting myself up here.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Spit it out.
But every single bot lane we have in the LCS right now, I'm actually looking at Mickey and Kobbe as like, to me, probably a top 3 bot lane right now. If we just like look at the entire bot lane, because it's like Sven and Methi are the best.
Absolutely.
And then like you can argue maybe like Yellowstar Reckless is in there, but not laning wise. I don't feel like they're that strong, and I feel like their Kobbe and Mickey is actually better.
Yeah.
What do you think? Maybe you and Rallis would then add in?
I think, like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we're a very strong bot lane. In the straight up laning, I think Rallis knows a lot about the game, so we're like, we can make up for that. But like 2 versus 2, I don't think we're that strong. I think we were strong in last split, maybe more comfortable picks because the meta has changed a lot. But I still think also we're trying out some stuff. So.
And is Mickey and
Mickey, I think, is definitely like really mechanically good. Played him a lot in solo queue, as I said, and he really can win the lane versus you.
Top 3. There we go.
It pains me that I can't instantly disagree with you. I think we've got a lot of bot lanes that with work, I think, can get to that point. We saw the debut of Raya today. I butchered that name. You can say it properly.
Pretty good. How do you say it?
Good old Danish shrimp. Raya.
Raya, altogether.
So he didn't have a perfect series, and by no means anywhere close, but I think that's a player that has the potential maybe to step up into that role. Very long road for him, though, before he gets that far.
I haven't seen him too much lately in solo queue either. Like, I remember when it was called Critbot. I used to see him a lot. Played a lot with Crep as well, DoQ.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. But lately I haven't seen him, so I was quite surprised when he was making such a big impact in the qualifiers and Challenger series.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the Raya and Vitality later. However, we're going to load up into the post-game lobby first to check out all the other